Hello and welcome to another counseling tutorial. My name is Genevieve Ayala and I am a counselor here at East Los Angeles College. And today we will discuss how to access your student educational plan through your student portal. So stay tuned for more information. So what will we learn during this tutorial? The first thing is we will learn what to expect after your counseling appointment, because that is the first step to getting your educational plan. The second thing we will learn is how to actually access that student ed plan within your student portal. Now, a student educational plan is referred to as an SEP, a SEP. So sometimes you'll hear it referred to as an ed plan, a student ed plan, an SEP. So just be aware of the different terms that we use to identify an ed plan. So what exactly is a student educational plan? So a student educational plan is basically a map of the classes that you will take at ELAC based on your goals. If you want to learn a little bit more about an ed plan in detail, there will be a video linked in the comments, linked in the description box with a video to exactly what a student ed plan is. So check that out if you want to learn a little bit more about the details of an educational plan. So in order to get an educational plan, if you're a continuing student, you will need to meet with a counselor for a counseling appointment. Now, we typically recommend that students meet with counselors at least once a semester to update their ed plan, because different things can happen. Maybe a class that you were supposed to take wasn't available, or maybe you decided to change your major, or maybe you took an additional class. So we always want to make sure that you're checking in and we're updating your ed plan so that it is current. So after your counseling appointment, the counselor who created your SEP will typically send an email with the PDF version of that ed plan. So the PDF version is something, was a picture of the first screen right here. So this is what the PDF version typically looks like. We typically recommend that you download that PDF version or take a screenshot of it, keep it on your phone, keep it on your laptop, wherever you store your virtual documents. You can also print it if you have a printer at home. So that way you can review the notes and the referrals on the SEP. So the counselor who created it will typically put, why you're supposed to take a certain class. So for example, right here, this English 101 class, it's for the general education pattern, the IGETC, and this is the area. So you want to keep that stored so that you can review all the notes at a later time. Now, the whole point of this video, this tutorial, is because I want to show you how you can access your SEP via the Student Information System, the SIS portal. So how do we do that? First things first is you are going to go to the ELAC website. So this is what the ELAC website looks like. You would click on register, and then it would take you to your SIS portal. So your SIS portal should look like this. We would go ahead and click on Manage Classes. And as you can see, this student here has not yet registered in any classes yet. So if I'm this student and I'm thinking maybe I didn't download my ed plan and I can't find it, or I just don't want to have to go back to it, I just want to see it on my SIS portal, I would go ahead and click right here, Student Educational Plan. So this is showing me that the counselor that I met with gave me a plan for spring. Maybe I'm a new student and this is my first ed plan, so the counselor only planned for one semester. If I was a continuing student and I met with a counselor and we did my comprehensive educational plan where we planned out all of the classes that I'll take in order to achieve my goal, whether that's an associate degree or transfer or certificate, this would show more um, semesters, more sessions. But for this purpose, spring of 2021, it looks like the counselor is recommending 14 units, 4 courses. So he or she is recommending that I'm a full-time student. So when I click on this, it looks like the counselor recommended Counseling 40, English 101, Math 125S, and Psych 1. Okay, so I know what classes I need to take. But if you notice, this doesn't give me the details from the PDF version of the Ed Plan. And counselors also put notes at the bottom of the PDF version. So that's why it's important, even if you're going to access the Ed Plan this way, that you do keep the PDF version of the Ed Plan on hand somewhere. So say I say, okay, I am going to go ahead and enroll in my Math 125 course first because I want to make sure that I have a class that meets at a desirable time for me, and then I'll schedule all of my other classes according to that class. So I would click right here on Math 125, and so it tells me it's a 5-unit class. It's a lecture and a lab, and it's at ELAC. Well, virtual ELAC right now. So I would click View Classes. And then this is giving me a little information about the COVID-19 pandemic. It's also telling me about assist.org if I'm interested in transferring. But here I'm saying, okay, well, let me find a class that works for me. And say I already did my research and I already knew that I wanted to take this Monday through Thursday class from 8:35 to 9:45. It looks like 32 of 39 seats are open, so this is good. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And then okay, so just double checking, yes, this is the class I want. I learn math better in the morning, so 8:35 to 10:15, I'm gonna go ahead and click next. I will click accept. And then I will click, let's see, next, enroll. Do you wish to enroll or add the course to your shopping cart? Doesn't give me an option, so I'm gonna click next. And then I'm going to submit. Are you sure you want to submit? Yes. And this, I'm just going to double check that I enrolled. And yes, I did. I enrolled in Math 125 because it is in my classes. And if I look at my weekly schedule, here it is. And I can view my weekly schedule like this. We do have another video that goes into detail about adding classes, which I will also link in the description box. So during this video, we learned that you can typically expect to get a PDF version of your SEP from the counselor that you met with, but that you can also access your student ed plan through your student portal. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that this video was informational, and I hope to see you in the future in another counseling tutorial. Bye.